Your organization built the container image. Now, where do you store? Docker Hub is public, not acceptable for production workloads. You need a private, secure, fully managed registry, one that scans container image for vulnerabilities, encrypts with KMS, replicates across regions, and integrates directly with ECS and EKS. That is Amazon ECR. In this module, we will cover everything you need to know about Amazon ECR for the AWS certification exam. Hello everyone. Welcome to CloudExpert Solutions, your favorite YouTube channel for free, structured, exam-ready cloud education. Let's review the topics we are going to cover in this module. We will start with what Amazon ECR is and where it fits. Then we will dive deep into Amazon ECR architecture, ECR Security, Lifecycle Policy, cross-region replication of container image. We will conclude the module with an AWS exam style question for you to validate your understanding, plus a summary and key takeaways. Unlike other online courses, we just don't cover an AWS service to pass the exam. We can help you to bridge the gap between passing an exam and applying the concept for your real-life use cases. In addition to that, with CloudExpert Solutions, you are learning it precisely the way AWS will test you. Every topic, every domain, no guesswork. Many learners are finding difficulties locating all the modules in our bootcamp and thinking bootcamps don't cover all the modules. This is because of Google's SEO algorithm. We understand that problem and we created this web page to list all our existing and upcoming bootcamps. If you expand any bootcamp, you will get all the topics organized module-wise. The web page link is available in the module description. Happy learning, and let's get started with ECR fundamentals. Let's start with what Amazon ECR is and where it sits in the architecture. In one sentence, ECR is a fully managed private container image registry on AWS. It is the place where you store, version, and secure your container image before deploying them to ECS, EKS, or any other container runtime. Let's review how ECR fits into the CI/CD deployment pipeline. Your developer writes code and a Docker file. The developer pushes the code to a code repo, and your CI/CD tool could be Code Pipeline, Code Build, GitHub Action, or Jenkins builds a container image from that Docker file. The image gets pushed to ECR, tagged with a version. ECR stores it, scans it for vulnerabilities, and keeps it available. When ECS or EKS need to run a new container, it pulls the specific image version from ECR. ECR is the bridge between your build system and your runtime. Let's identify why Amazon ECR instead of a Docker Hub or a self-managed registry. We will start with Docker Hub. Docker Hub is public by default. It has dependencies on external services attribute like rate limits. It requires internet connectivity from your ECS and EKS node and no native IAM integration. Option 2 is a self-managed registry. You can configure your self-managed registry on EC2, which means you are patching servers, managing disk space, and configuring for high availability. All operational overhead that adds up with no business value. On the other hand, ECR runs inside AWS, so private by default with native IAM access control. Images are pulled over the private AWS network. Authentication is via IAM, which eliminates password or credentials management. You got security scanning for vulnerabilities. It's fully managed, that means no infrastructure to manage. Images are encrypted at rest using AWS KMS and built-in lifecycle policies to control storage charges. No matter where you are running your containers within AWS, ECR is your go-to service for image registry. Next up, ECR architecture. 3 levels to understand. This is a representation of your image registry when you have multiple repos. Your AWS account gets one ECR registry per region automatically. Inside that registry, you create repositories, one per application or microservices. Don't get confused between the registry and the repository. Inside each repository, you store multiple image versions. each with a tag like version 1.0 or version 2.0 and identified by a SHA 256 digest. The SHA 256 digest will be unique per image version. There is an important nuance about the latest tag. It's just a convention. It does not automatically track the newest image unless you explicitly push to it. The AWS best practice is to use immutable version tags like version 1.0, version 1.1, version 2.0, not mutable tags like latest in production. Immutable tags can be enforced as a repository setting to prevent any accidental overwriting an existing tag. We have a dedicated section in this module. You have two types of ECR registry. First, private ECR. Private ECR is what you always use for your own application images. It requires IAM authentication. It is accessible only by authorized AWS principals. Images can be pulled from EKS or ECS within your AWS account or accounts you explicitly allow. All the images and artifacts are stored inside the specified AWS region, could be US East 1 or EU West 1, wherever you provision the ECR container registry. This is perfect for enterprise or production applications. For the exam, ECR always means private ECR unless public is specifically mentioned. Please remember this terminology. From an ECR public registry, anyone can pull images without authentication. ECR public gallery is for images you want to share with the world. AWS also publishes its own official images in the public repo, and images can be pulled from anywhere by any machine, any Docker client. From ECR public, images propagated using public internet. Next is authentication. And authentication is where ECR's IAM integration shines. In the traditional approach with Docker Hub, you store and manage usernames and password. Docker log in with those credentials, reading from environmental variable before pulling, and you must manage the credentials expiration and rotation. With ECR, authentication happens through the IAM role attached to the ECS task execution role or EKS node groups. ECS and EKS automatically call the ECR API with that role to get temporary authentication token, and that token is valid for 12 hours. Then use the temporary credential to pull images. No password stored anywhere, no credentials to rotate. The advantage is you only need an IAM role with get authentication token to get the token and batch get image to pull the actual image from ECR. The IAM role automatically handles the authentication, zero credential management for your team, and if an exam question says ECS or EKS task cannot pull image from ECR, the answer is almost always a missing IAM permission on the task execution role or on node instance role. Please check the role before checking anything else. Next is ECR Security. We have 3 layers and all exam testable. Layer 1 for vulnerability scanning, Layer 2 encryption at rest, and Layer 3 access control via IAM and resource-based policies. Starting with vulnerability scanning, ECR has 2 scanning modes. First, basic scanning, which is free. It uses the open source Clear image. It scans when you push an image and identifies known CVEs in the operating system package. The results show you a breakdown by severity. It could be critical, high, medium, low, which specifies the CVE ID and remediation guidance. The key limitation is that basic scanning is a single point-in-time check. An image that was cleaned and checked last month might now have vulnerabilities because new CVEs were published after you push that image. Enhanced scanning solves this issue. It uses Amazon Inspector and continuously rescans images as new CVEs are discovered, even images you pushed weeks ago. It also scans application dependencies like npm packages, Python libraries, not just the OS packages. All the findings appears in both ECR and Amazon Inspector console. The benefits of enhanced scanning is an image that was scanned or cleaned last week. It can also be flagged or it can also be checked automatically when a new CVE is published without republishing that image. For the certification, basic scanning is on push and free. whereas enhanced scanning via Amazon Inspector is continuous and application aware. Then layer 2 is encryption at rest. All ECR images are encrypted by default with AES 256 managed by AWS, no action needed from your side. It is always on, but for compliance requirement where you need to control the encryption key yourself, you can configure ECR to use customer managed key from AWS KMS. This gives you full key control, CloudTrail's audit log of every operation and the ability to immediately revoke access by disabling the key. You can also rotate the encryption key on your own schedule. The use of CMK-based encryption at rest is if you have compliance-based requirement that mandates customer control keys. For encryption in transit, TLS 1.2 is used for all push and pull operations. So encryption at rest and encryption in transit is available with ECR. And the layer 3 is access control. And this is where cross account become interesting. ECR supports both IAM identity-based policy, which you attach to the role that push or pull the images, and the second ECR repository-based resource policy, which is similar to S3 bucket policies. Next is lifecycle policies, and let's start with the problem statement. Without lifecycle policies, ECR became a storage problem. Let's understand with an example. A busy CI/CD pipeline pushing 20 builds per day. At the end of day 1, you have 20 container images in ECR. At the end of week 1, you have 7 into 20, 140 images. After month 1, you have 600 images. And at the end of year 1, you will have over 7,300 images stored and built. Now ECR charges 10 cents per GB per month. For a container image of 500 MB times 7,000 old images, it adds up to $350 per month in pure waste for images that serve no purpose, and most of them are never pulled again after the next version is available. ECR Lifecycle Policy solves this challenge. You define rule, ECR enforces them automatically on recurring schedule. As an example, keep only 5 most recent tagged images. Delete untagged images older than 24 hours. These are typically left over from failed builds. But keep any images which is tagged with production prefix forever, because you never want to auto delete a production release. ECR will evaluate rule in priority order. There's even a dry run mode which you can use to check exactly what would be deleted before you actually turn that policy on, or the rules will be automatically executed. The storage reduction is typically dramatic. Before the lifecycle policy, you have 7,000 plus images, 3,500 GB of storage, which will cost almost $350 per month. However, after that policy, you have only 5 images plus production tags, roughly around 3 GB of volume, and you are going to pay $1 per month. Next is cross-region replication. Let's review why we need cross-region replication. If your ECS cluster in Europe and Asia are pulling container images from ECR registry in US-1, you have 3 problems. First, cross-region data transfer cost, higher latency for image pools, which will make container startup slower, and dependency on a single region's ECR availability. Cross-region replication solves all 3. When you push an image to your primary registry, ECR automatically replicates it to your specified secondary regions. ECS and EKS clusters in each region pull locally, no cross-region transfer, lower latency, and regional independence. Cross-account replication will also work the same way. You push once in the central account, which will be replicated automatically to the workloads account. Next, immutable tag, which is a quick one but very important. Without this setting, pushing the same tag will overwrite existing image. As an example, maybe image version 1.0 that is deployed to production. Now you pushed a different image with the same version accidentally. Now your production version 1.0 suddenly refers to a different image than what you deployed, which is a serious problem for audit trails and rollback. Enabling immutable tags on a repository means once a tag is pushed, it cannot be overwritten. Any attempt is rejected, and this will force proper versioning discipline, and it will ensure tags always reliably identify the same images. and you must enable immutable tags for all your production repositories or for all production applications. Now let's review some exam style question. This is a question for you to try at your own pace. Please read the question and find out the correct option from the given 4 answer choices. Please provide your answer as a comment to this video. You can optionally add supporting clarifications for your chosen options. We read all the comments. The CloudExpert solution team will confirm your understanding or will support you with additional clarifications if you need to. If you are facing any challenge to identify the correct option, please review the module one more time, take necessary notes. You can pause the video here and take time to solve the question. If you are reviewing this slide, that means you have solved the question from the previous slide and posted your answer. Now let's close the module strong with some exam tips. During the certification, if you see terminologies like container image storage on AWS or private container registry, it is always hinting towards Amazon ECR because Docker Hub is public and S3 is not for container image. Although container image is an object, but we do not use Amazon S3 to store any container image. If you see some terminology like scan container images for vulnerabilities, it is talking about ECR with base scanning, which is free and on push. If you see terminologies like cross-account ECR access, you need an ECR repository policy on the source account and an IAM role permission in the consuming account. The same two-sided pattern as S3 cross-account access. If you see terminologies or terms like reduce ECR storage cost, it is talking about ECR Lifecycle Policy, which will automatically delete old or untagged images based on the count or age rule you have created. If you see phrases like multi-region container deployments pulling from a central repository, then you should check if the option talks about ECR cross-region replication because you push to one repository and it is available everywhere, which will eliminate any cross-region transfer cost. And last but not least, immutable tags. This is very important. Immutable tags are used to prevent overwrites, and for any production workloads, if you are running in containers, you should enable immutable tags. That wraps up this module. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more AWS exam preparation courses and cloud certification bootcamps. Got questions or feedback for us? Drop them as comment to this video. We love to hear from you. Thanks for learning with us at CloudExpert Solutions. Together we can make cloud learning accessible to everyone. You are now one step closer to crushing your exam. See you in the next module.